And welcome to Capital Talk, a program we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya. Now more than ever, I'm Jeff Koinange, and all this week, if you've been watching the bench, you know we're talking by-elections. We've left Starehe, we've entered Makadara, and I tell you, it's a fierce fight going on. It's basically a two-horse race. And I tell you, the candidate on the bench today is a man who started off as a boxer. He wanted to go into boxing. This was his passion from day one. Went to the States, went to the UK. This man, they called him in his welterweight and middleweight years, they called him the Dark Destroyer. He can pack a punch. In fact, he rose up in the ranks. He didn't become a professional, but he decided to go into management. And he rose up the ranks, becoming president of the Commonwealth Boxing Council. Pretty prestigious position. Did pretty well, came back in the late 90s, and they convinced him to get into politics, and he did in 2002, beating out the incumbent in a knockout and became the champ, MP Makadara. He also says it was during that period, ODM, he takes credit, Orange Democratic Movement was formed. And then 07 was knocked out of the ring, but turned out to be a TKO because he took it to court. And now the players are in the field again. He wants his belt back, he says. This man is ready to fight all the way to September 20th. Sit back, listen to the Dark Destroyer, Reuben Ndolo. My goodness, you're strong.
Brother.
You're looking strong, man.
Yeah,
looking
man.
strong.
Training every day.
Are you?
Yeah.
What, jogging or?
Well, I go to the gym. Twice a week, I go for my road work.
Do people follow you when you're doing your road work? Do you have mashabiks following you?
Oh yeah, me and my friends, the oldies.
Yes.
What can I say, the oldies? We are still together, and we train together. We mingle all together.
Yes.
And you know, when you go for training, you need to have a sparring partner.
Correct.
And that's very good for you to come out and see that you are improving your training capacity.
Yeah. Let me just tell you, Mweshimiwa, right now, I would never spar with you. Huh? I hear you can pack a punch, man.
Oh yeah, those were the good days. Good days.
Good day. All right, so do you miss those days? Let's come back to, do you miss those days? Because, you know, you rose up the ranks. The Commonwealth Boxing Council is a huge deal.
I miss those days, Jeff. And as I've said, they were good days. We were like brothers and sisters, especially in Nairobi. We didn't have issues like what is happening today. People don't know what's happening. They don't care about family affairs. They don't care about friendship. They're just there. And I like it because, the guys that, as I've said, the guys that we've been together up to now, we are still together.
Yeah, and the sport of boxing, Mweshimiwa, it's really gone down from those days, because I know you were promoting a lot of Kenyans, and we had a stable full of good Kenyan boxers.
Oh yeah, it has gone down simply because, first, our government has taken down upon sportsmen. I'm sorry to say that. Mm-hmm. And if you look at what happened that time, sponsorship were there. From the forces, support of the government. Yes. And in fact, not only support from the government, support from all the stakeholders, people who knew what sports is all about. They were there. People like you, Jeff, you used to support us. I remember before we went to South Africa in the late 80s, early 90s, when we were still with KTN. You promoted us, not only about, money-wise, but also in how you advertised that type of sport, which was good at that time.
And they don't do that enough now.
I don't see it. Yeah. And that's why you see even our Harambee Stars is doing, nobody is believing it, what's going on right now.
Guinea-Bissau.
Guinea-Bissau of all the countries, small island.
Tiny.
Tiny one.
And they beat us?
Yeah.
You're Matusi, yo.
Matusi. Kubwa.
So, when you were knocked out of this 07, right? When you were knocked, it was a TKO, but, you know, was it devastating for you? Did you feel that it was, the fight was stolen from you?
Well, I felt that, that fight was, he threw a punch behind the belt and under the belt. And that's why I decided and went back to my people and asked them, what should we do? And my people told me, our young man, they call me still a young man, that you better go to court. Because we didn't want to behave like what other people are behaving, crying for nothing. And that's why we did it very early. In fact, we are the second, people to appeal. The first was Tare, then came Makadara.
You grew up in Jerry.
Yes, please.
In the heart of the slums. Can you fix this place, Mheshimiwa? Because Jerry, Kaloleni, that whole area. Ololo, exactly. City, that whole area. And of course, industrial areas, or is Makadara.
Yes, please.
It's a tough place to clean up, Mheshimiwa. It's a tough job. Can you do it? Are you the man who can do that?
We pray first with the new constitution. We'll do our best to clean what is going on in that area. And, security-wise, poverty, which is, of course, devastating, and also how we can bring back the unity of our people.
Yeah.
We are going to do something. We have a very strong team. In fact, the team that we have right now, the 2010 team, the one I'm campaigning with,
Yes.
we have a very strong professional team. We have a very strong people who are good advisors and good people who can show us the way on how we can develop that area.
Yeah. And you were saying during the post-election violence, and you said 07 was a horrible election.
Horrible.
In general.
In general. Everywhere. Yeah, that's what I've said. It was horrible. You can't imagine. My opponent, I don't know even why he's campaigning now. Because he was given that ticket before even the tallying. You have your own ticket, so what we were doing around there was nothing.
Yeah, it was just noise.
A noise, and somebody has got his own ticket in his pocket already. So we were just going there. We didn't know what was happening. Mungu yangu. It's terrible. We are praying to God that such a thing cannot happen again.
Yeah. Are you hopeful? Do you think you can take it? Will you knock this man out for the count?
Well, I leave it to the people of Makadara, because they are the ones who should decide. And I know, come 20th, Jeff, it will be wonders, like what happened during the referendum.
They're coming out.
They are ready, waiting. They are ready, waiting. They are ready, the Makadara people are ready to prove to the Kenyans what they did during referendum. They are going to do it again, come this by-election.
And
they are one.
Yes.
And the dark destroyer will be hot.
Moto.
Kama moto yenyewe.
Imara.
Yeah, kama simba. Not fisi. Kapana.
You were saying earlier on, Mheshimiwa, that ODM was crystallized, was born in Makadara.
Very well. On record. It is on record. Yeah, I remember it was 205?
Yeah, 05.
Yeah, and we are about 5 or 6 of us, of ODM members of parliament. So we had a meeting as Kamukunji in parliament as members of part were from KANU and part, of course, from LDP. So then we came out with a solution on how we can popularize our agenda. So I decided, I asked them if we can go to Makadara and start ODM from there. So we went. It was me, William Ruto, Oburu Odinga, Charles Keter, Kajwang, and a few guys who joined us in Makadara. That's when we started it. From there, we went to Eldoret. From Eldoret, we went to Machakos. That's when we saw now people coming in. Remember that time some of our MPs were in government. They were members of the cabinet. So it was a bit shy for them to join. So they were hesitating, if we are going to join that right now, nitapigwa karamu.
Kabisa.
Yeah. So they left with the people of Mkono like Ndolo. And we came out, and people like William, straight away, we started now. From there, when we went to Eldoret, after Machakos to Kisumu, that's when again the movement was started again, officially. Balala, you remember?
Yes.
He came out openly and said, we want this to be a movement, which was good, and I liked it. You see?
Alipata headlines?
Headline, bwana. Alipata headline.
Kani wewe ulingesema hivyo?
Hakuna headline, utapata wapi?
Okay.
Ni Ndolo tu headline gani utapata? Hakuna kitu.
Wow. What a movement.
Terrible movement.
Okay, so your friend William, as you call him, Ruto, campaigning for the no's during the referendum. Were you disappointed, or was this just democracy at its best?
It was democracy at his best. He's a young guy, energetic, brilliant, powerful.
Sana.
Nguvu. Terrible. Don't joke.
No.
And the movement that he was doing, you know, he shook the whole place, which was good. I like it. You know, you like somebody who's strong and somebody who can do something on his own, which was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a boxer in the ring.
Yeah.
You can see his
you
moves.
see his movement, the way he's ducking, the way he's moving, and you like it. You see?
It's like the rumble in the jungle.
Kabisa.
Okay. All right. So back to Makadara. Can you take on Wathika? Can you take him on this time and put it without a doubt?
Oh, yeah. I pray to God that we do it peacefully for the people of Makadara and for the country to see what's going on come by election on 20th. I'm ready for him, and I'm ready for anybody, anywhere, anytime, my brother. I'm ready.
You've been training.
Hard. Tough. It's hard. I've been training for him. And I told him, I want that belt back. Don't forget, it's my belt. You took it.
It belongs to you.
It belongs to me. I'll take it back, my brother. Akasema, we wait. We see how it's going to go on. This is the ring. I said, I'm coming on. I'm ready. Like I told you, I'm ready. Be prepared.
And the audience is ready.
It's ready. They're watching.
When you go around, I mean, you've been hitting the road. You've been going door to door. What are the people saying? They say they want Reuben back. They want the boxer back.
Oh yeah. They give me courage. They give me courage. They said, "Ndio wewe, ni wetu." I said, "Yeah." Kangumu, number, yeah, I'm coming. I said, "Okay." I told them, "Let us keep on. Come voting day, let us vote as brothers and sisters. We want everything to be okay, and then we can move forward and make sure that the way you have asked me, how we can develop our constituency, #1 in the country."
Yes. Speaking of development, Mheshimiwa, I want to talk more about that. I want to talk about that school you started after you came back from the Commonwealth. It's called what? Make a Better World School. I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about your troubles with the KACC. I scare you spent a couple of hours ukondani.
Very good.
Downstairs.
Very important.
Let's talk about that after the break.
Thank you.
We've got the dog destroyer on the bench. He's packing the punch and he's ready to get into that ring. He says he's been training and he wants his belt back. Dick, are you listening? Oh, the bench is hot. In fact, it's on fire. And we're talking Makadara politics, so don't even think of going away. The bench is back in a moment. And welcome back to Capital Talk. The bench is all about Makadara now. We've left Starehe. We're in Makadara, industrial area, Kaloleni, Jericho, you name it. And we've got the dog destroyer on the bench, a man who knows a thing or two about going all the way, 12 rounds. This time around, he wants his belt back, he says, and he's ready. He's packing the punch. The dog destroyer, Reuben Ndolo, on the bench. Mheshimiwa, before we get to the school, let's talk about those troubles you had with KACC.
My God, can you imagine? This world is terrible. I was the complainer. I'm the one who complained about my committee. And I wrote a letter to the CAS and telling them that that school which is being built, it has taken a long time. And the bank allowed the contractor to be given the money when the committee wrote that check. And I told them, the way that, the school is going on, it can't take all that time. More than a year, just building a school. Then I said, no. First, this committee should be dissolved. The check should not be given to them. Third, I told them that I give them at least 1 or 2 months for that, committee to be formed. But what happened? That letter, I wish I could have come with those documents. That letter, took it to the House Authority. They wrote back to me telling me, no, you cannot dissolve that committee. So imagine what happened. After that, I was the enemy of that committee. You see?
Yeah.
So they were doing now everything which they wanted. So who was to be blamed?
Because they were untouchable.
Yeah. So who was to be blamed? So politics played part of it. And you know, in Nairobi, everything, if you are not working with the city council, whatever you are doing, the city council is there to give you the go-ahead to improve what you want to do to the people. So also in the city council, my brother Dick was there. He made sure everything that I wanted to do, he blocks it. So all those things came out. That's when you see, when I went, they couldn't charge me about...
The assault or the...
They charged me about assault.
Yeah, it wasn't about the other thing.
No. It was about assault. Because when they came to my house, to do what in my house? I asked him, what are you coming to do in my house? Is it politics? Why don't you just call me, and then I come to your place?
Yes. So they made a big scene about it.
Yeah, they made a big scene. And they said, oh, I wanted to beat that guy, the police. And also they said I had 100 guns. It was terrible, the accusation that you could have, heard about it.
Yeah.
So, and I asked him, is it not about CDF? No, it was about what you did. You assaulted that, and this is what you're going to charge you. So, I laughed and I said, this is our country. So I'm the one who was complaining. Then I became...
You became the victim.
The victim.
Hey.
You see? And this is what is going on. And people, of course, now that they portrayed about CDF. But when we went to court, it was not about it. It was about assault. So up to now, I don't know what I'm going to do. And believe me, Jeff, I always pray to God. Because my family were very much shocked on what happened. And the people of Makadara, of course, were also shocked. And this is what, we should try to get rid of. If this new constitution has come out, I think it will solve a lot of problems.
Yeah. And people like PLO Lumumba, they have a lot of work to do, huh?
A lot.
Your impunity lazima iishe.
To me, I think they'll put the right guy there. He knows a lot of things.
Yeah.
He knows what is going on. He knows a lot of each and everything.
Yes.
Yes.
And hopefully impunity will end.
Yeah, I hope so. And that's why I'll wait for them. One day, things will come out. One day, things will come out.
But this case with CASA or this CDF thing, is it over now or is it still simmering somewhere?
Which case? The case which I was charged was assault. I don't have any other case. If they wanted to charge me, they could have charged me about CDF.
Yeah. And you paid the fine for the assault because I saw
for
you in the
assault.
handcuffs.
Yeah, handcuffs. Imagine.
The Dark Destroyer in handcuffs.
And handcuffs. Just because they wanted to portray the Dark Destroyer, that he is the Dark Destroyer, so he wanted to fight somebody. Believe me, Jeff, I've never fought on the streets. I've never insulted anybody on the streets. I've never done anything bad on the streets. Inside the ring, my brother, I did it.
It's a different story.
Different story.
It's a different story. And Dick is coming into the ring now. He's coming in.
He's coming in. We are waiting. I'm waiting for him. And I told him, I've trained very hard for you. Be prepared. And I hope he's ready for it. Yeah.
This school.
Good rematch.
good rematch. It's the rumble in the jungle.
Definitely.
Or the thriller in Manila. This school you started in Makadara.
Yeah, Make a Better World.
Make a Better World. Tell me, how did that come about?
Well, you know, as I've said, when I was in the Commonwealth, I thought and came out with, when I come out from here, what am I going to leave to my people? Just being a president of the Commonwealth, is it enough? And I said, I better give them a better world. That's why I named that school Make a Better World. And it's good because now people are happy. And that school now is class 8, I understand. And most of the people in the slums are happy on what I did for them. And that's why, believe me, Jeff, you tell anything about those people, they'll cry for you. And you remember that time when they wanted to destroy everything there because of the meteor steamer?
Yeah.
That, people should move out from the slums.
Yeah.
Remember when I came out openly and said, hey, Baba,
Yeah.
Weka. Yeah. I told you, don't play with them.
Yes.
Tutaweka mambo.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
You're passionate about Makadara, aren't you?
Yeah, very much. Because I miss it every now and then. I like the guys. I like everybody.
Yeah.
And we are one. Jeff, when you come there, you know it. We don't have any problem. People think in Makadara maybe we don't have any of this issue of the past, tribalism. We don't have it there. We don't know about it. And you find, Akikuyu being called Odongo, Alua being called Kamau. Oh yes, you can't know who is who until maybe you sit down and ask, but you can't ask anybody.
Yeah.
What tribe is he?
Right.
You don't do that there.
Mume mix kabisa.
Tuma mix kabisa. We don't have that, and that's why you see 207. No violence.
In Makadara.
Yeah, no violence in Makadara. Kabisa, there's no violence. And we like it, and we still encourage our people to behave what they've been doing even before.
Yeah. What's the one thing, Mheshimiwa, you would tell the people of Makadara between now and September 20th? What's the one thing you were going to tell them and say, you know what? Get the Dark Destroyer back in there. What's the one thing?
One thing that I'll tell my people of Makadara, that Makadara is going to be there. Our country is going to be there. Let us vote wisely. Let us vote as a family. And let us vote as a voice of Makadara. And after the voting day, I know that we are going to work as a team, the whole of Makadara, because we have formed a very strong team of professionals to make sure that we develop our constituency. And I think we are going to make sure that in Makadara we don't have any violence. You remember, as I've said, even in 2007, 2002, we didn't have violence. And just recently, maybe these small issues which came out, and the media put it up. Kawaida. And which, I think it was just one or two guys throwing stones to some of our supporters, which was not good for us because we are above those issues. And that's why I'm saying the people of Makadara should vote wisely and as a family and make sure that we live as a people of the same country, so that at least our children can learn from what we've been doing all these years.
And if you lose, Mheshimiwa, if you don't win on that day, if you're completely knocked out of that ring and the count is 10 and you're out for the count, then what?
I'll pray to God, go back to church and pray to God and tell my people, kila siku ni siku. The Bible teaches us one day is like 1,000 years. and 1,000 years is like one day, you see. And that's what I'll tell my people, that let us go on, keep on. You remember, I've just resigned from the chairman of the water board.
Yes.
Why? Because I didn't want to let them down. Otherwise, the president and the prime minister gave me a job. So, but because of this case, I said, no, let me go back to my people and make sure that we work together, campaign together, win together. Na wapige kura kata.
Kabisa.
Kata siku hiyo, kata Ndolo, kata Ndolo. Paka kura yote, Diki ashangae.
Ashangae kabisa. Huh?
It'll be wonderful. I like it. It will be wonderful.
Utaichukua?
Well, as I've said, the people of Makadara are waiting for that. I don't want to judge for them. They are the ones who are going to judge. But I know what they are doing. Believe me.
Mheshimiwa, good stuff.
Thank you.
Strong.
Very strong.
Dark Destroyer.
Very strong.
It's the Dark Destroyer. You can't make this stuff up. Reuben Ndolo wants his job back. He wants his belt back. And he's been working out. He's been training. He's ready to get back into the ring with one Dick Wathika. It's a 2-horse race. Watch out. September 20th. Makadara is going to be happening. You cannot find guests like the Dark Destroyer anywhere else, or right here on the bench, on the award-winning station, K24. Where, as always, we are, even in days of Dark Destroyer, we are all Kenyan.
Kiona wow, all the time. Yeah, man.
This particular session of Capital Talk was filmed at Fairmont, the Norfolk.